Raw emotion from a Mascot resident unable to return home.
I stand here as a parent as well. My daughter asked me, when can I go home? It's hard. I've done things that are right, and we shouldn't be accountable for it.
Vijay Vital is one of many paying the price, with a $10 million repair bill and counting.
A lot of us were not investors. This is not the case where, this is my 15th investment property. For a lot of us, that is the only place that we have that we call home.
Their stories are some of the hundreds submitted to this inquiry.
If the government is minded to encourage all these builders and developers, then, on the same token, of course, there should be corresponding policies in place or laws in place to protect us end users.
The Upper House inquiry is examining just that. It heard that builders are able to escape responsibility by setting up $2 companies and that licensing is also failing consumers.
So what we need is a licensing system that licenses or accredits every practitioner in the industry. It needs to be tiered for builders and developers, and it needs to be only a licence for a natural person.
There's a role for government. It's government that failed to regulate the industry. It's government that has ambitious successive governments.
Also critical, the person behind a major review of the building industry 4 years ago, who says reforms are still lacking.
I'm very disappointed that none of the reforms have been implemented. I think people would be very surprised that there's no regulation in place for builders for commercial buildings.
But speaking from his electorate, the minister says reform is happening.
The reform process is on track. We will continue to listen to the industry.
The inquiry will resume on Friday, when it will hear from the new building commissioner, who will have only been in the job for 2 days. And with the government due to introduce new legislation on the building industry by the end of the year, the committee will be keen to deliver its findings before then. Liv Casbin, ABC News, Sydney.